go here and check this.
I'll check it here.
I want to see it here.
I see what you're saying.
Is this gonna come here? I don't know if we live yet on YouTube. Check this.
Look on my phone.
I want to see it here. I think we got a feedback. Is this gonna come here? I don't know if we live yet on YouTube. Check this.
Look on my phone.
Yeah, we live, I think.
Yeah, I got a delay on it.
Check this.
Look on my phone.
Yeah, we live. Peace to the gods, peace to the family. Welcome to Rebels Roundtable. I'm Rebel with a cause. Got my co-host in the building.
And why do I kill in the building?
Yes, sir. We got a powerful show tonight. Who we got on tonight, bro?
Man, we got Dr. ENQI. And
Definitely.
of course, Knowledge Born, Not Live from Do the Knowledge Radio.
Salute to the God. So we thinking tonight. I know ENQI going.
Oh yeah.
The difference between the melanin and the acidic pattern of life.
Right.
And under the Caucasian. So
Right.
It's gonna be a real good one.
Oh yeah.
Well, we got Obasi, John.
Yeah, but the knowledge. For those out there, YouTube land, like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Help this channel grow, brothers and sisters.
Rebel Vision Television. We need
That's right.
all platforms. And we about to truly do a surge. So y'all gonna see us soon. And Think Champs is gonna be on the page too. So salute Ross Isis.
Oh yeah.
But now we got well, that's Minister ENQI if we really go back.
Yeah, Minister ENQI, Dr. ENQI. You know what I mean?
He used to put it down a lot in public.
Oh yeah.
Well, all through New York, you know what I mean? All the events. He used to run with Poe. And he used to do his thing on his own too. So they
really
babies. They the real Sabi babies.
Yeah.
Him, KT. We gotta get KT the arts degree on too.
Right.
That'll be a show.
They're about to drop in a few.
I'm gonna get online. I'll be outside, man. But yeah, this show gonna be fire. You got any new clothes? What you got popping?
Man, you know, I'm working on a few things. Man, I don't have nothing new yet, but you know, man, knowledge in the lab. You know what I mean? Go switch up everything. He told me that there, low ball, the rest of my stuff. We come with new materials for the summer, man.
Yeah. Ancient chemistry. Them new sweaters coming.
Word.
Yeah, we gonna grown and sexy on.
I heard that.
So now it's all good. I think I sent everybody the link. So.
All right, cool.
But we live on YouTube, man. This Rebels Roundtable. If y'all watching, I don't know. I ain't looking, but the point is, this is a platform where we try to bring the unsung heroes, the type of the realest people putting in the true work. We not from the internet. So,
right.
You know, we kind of only on here so we could put something godly on here. So come fuck with us. We gonna have all the gods on and the earth. We kind of know everybody. So we should have a lot of powerful guests for y'all. Plus,
right.
we've already filmed a few, so go check out the past episodes. You know what I mean?
Yeah, y'all can also check out Rebel Vision Television on Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram as well. Rebel Vision Television, RVTV, y'all.
RVTV, we taking it to the top, man.
Yeah.
Mastermind Rise. Yeah, we got a lot of things coming, man. I saw the new design for the umbrellas.
Oh, yeah?
I'm gonna have an umbrella for everybody in the world pattern, man.
That's right.
Goats umbrellas, man.
Oh, yeah, I remember you was telling me about them. So they're finally about to come on through?
Yeah. I saw the sample. So, looking real good. Nice and professional. Like we need it.
Yeah, man. You know, as soon as it come out, you know, man, Shelly, I'm sick of grab us a couple, man.
I'm still waiting on the call for the Black Wall Street market. My man, salute my man. I'm gonna leave your name out of this, but hit me back, man. Come on.
All right.
Cause now if we could get in there, you know, it's gonna be the spot in Atlanta in a minute.
Yeah.
Everybody gotta come. It's one location. If you're gonna make it that, let's make it that.
Right.
Yeah,
you know, one of my partners came. He was down here from Chicago, man. He heard about it, man.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. He like, man, no, what? He thought it was on another side of town. Well, he thought it was somewhere else. I said, no, it's right there in DeKalb County.
Nah, my New York people, they was talking about it to me.
Yeah.
That's kind of why I went in the first place. I didn't realize it was open.
Yeah, so yeah. Brothers and sisters from other cities and states, other states got them clung on to it, so the road is out, you know what I mean?
Nah, I've been there twice, and it looked like people from Atlanta. It's a little black money over there, but it looked like, you know, it was some tourism in there too.
Oh yeah?
This Black Swan. It got a museum in the back. They breaking down the kente cloth, and it got mad art in the back you could buy. Real African pieces.
Oh yeah, I like them. That'd be dope, man.
There's shit in there for $40,000.
Oh yeah?
It's a slave boat. If I had the 45, I'd have capped that shit. But yeah, it's authentic though.
Right. Yeah, I ain't been out there yet, man. I guess next time I go to the store, man, go out to Black Dot, I take a look out there, go and slide on through there. Cause I'm 5 minutes away from there. I mean, Shelly been going to Florida, man.
Yeah, I know.
We're going to Florida, man. We're gonna go once a month. We're gonna go back again next month, man. So yeah. They looking for stuff like what we have out there, because they don't get, you know what I mean, like the sea moss and the center shea butters and stuff like that, man.
Yeah. Florida, my next link with the Fonto. But like Shabazz tell us, they kind of need us out there too.
Yeah, they don't have nothing down in Florida. Trust me.
There's a lot of openings all through America, man.
Yeah.
A few licks. It won't be nothing to put in. If we would have jumped on the Bitcoin,
Yeah.
millionaires off Bitcoin.
Yeah, if we would have jumped on it early, man, God, that damn flooded, man.
Could have had damn near stores in every state.
Right.
Nah, it's a lot of millionaires off that. A lot of white kids got rich.
Yeah, got rich.
A few of us too. They on the low millionaires. That's what I'm telling you. They got millions of dollars in Bitcoin.
Yeah.
No different than having $1 million.
Yeah, they jumped on it when it was at its embryo stage, man. And everything was low.
Now they doing the NFT shit. You know what that is?
I heard about the NFTs, but I ain't really do no research on it. I said I was gonna do research on it, but never got to it. You know what it is?
I know a little something. Dion probably could break it down more, but I know it's basically a JPEG. So all I'm saying is let's make some Black Power NFTs.
Man, let's link up and do that. There go Brother Knowledge Born 7 right here.
But it take the people to buy the NFTs to give it the value.
Right. What's up, Brother Knowledge?
What's going on, man? How y'all doing, man?
Doing all right, man. You know, we put Dr. ENQI and Knowledge Born a lot of slide on through here, man.
Yo, we live on YouTube too.
Live on the YouTube. How
Yeah,
y'all
so
doing out
Dr.
there on the
ENQI,
radio, man?
Dr. ENQI, he been doing like press releases on social media, man. And he been talking about melanin versus diabetes in the electromagnetic tissue. So that's the topic for tonight.
I'm gonna break down how acidic this lifestyle is.
Right.
Well, we already know it's acidic.
And how we die quicker.
Yeah.
From just daily routine Caucasian living.
Yeah, Western European society will mess you up.
It's not racist that we.
I said Western European.
Oh no! I'm saying it's not racist that we understand our DNA and understand what truly hurts us. That's not racist. That's not
according to them, man, we black identity extremists.
According to them, we feel pain when they were whipping us and pulling us apart with horses. We don't feel pain. They almost right. We could take the most pain. Know that.
Well, up under severe conditions, you only given 120 years according to the telomere caps on chromosome number 2.
Okay, we going deep tonight. So how long will we live if we was all in Africa under our,
up under the current situation of Africa without any other pollution and stuff like that? I think we could have. I think the last ones to live long may be the Twa people. Is it Twa? I do my research, but I'm gonna find out for you.
Nah, it could be the Twa because they lived a few hundred years, right?
I think so.
But if you go way, way back, the folklore say motherfuckers is alive thousands of years.
Yeah.
Even
I think that was in the beginning, man, until I don't want to go into the alien theory. I'm gonna leave that alone, but in the beginning.
Nah, this is the only place you could probably have that alien Congo. Because we ain't gonna go crazy with it.
Right. But yeah, according to the alien theory, is they saw that we was one, talking about the Tower of Babel. This is just a theory. I have not proven this yet, but just according to this. Like the Tower of Babel, the certain Anunnaki saw that we was one, and that's when they split everything up and say we'll live 120 years. And now you got the telomere caps on chromosome number 2, which scientists have proven up under harsh conditions, a human can live only 120 years.
And the cracker got us down to 70.
Yeah, he got us down to 70 with bad water, bad food, no exercise. Our pineal gland is bad. A lot of stuff reaches our lower chakras and into our pituitary gland, which is more mind control. and more of the brainwashing.
Yeah, make us susceptible to it.
Yeah, that's where everybody go run get go run and get vaccine shots.
Right.
I'm sorry, the jab, the double jab. My bad, I slipped up. I'm the one preached about it, and I slipped up. Rebel looking at me like, "Hold up, D. Hold up, D. You the one preached about it. You slipped up."
C19. Yeah.
See what it is, Rebel. See, I'm a real conscious brother, so I do this 24/7. It's kind of hard to keep putting these limitations on this media, man. Where you gotta.
I'm over here biting my arm too, man.
Man, you know what I'm saying?
I'm not gonna get used to it. We're gonna have to put this show on Rebel Vision.
Yeah, it's gotta.
Something else.
Yeah, it's gotta be to its authenticity. I guess we just gotta chop the video up, man.
We'll give them C19.
Yeah.
We'll do that.
Yeah,
yeah. Too much more.
But man, I might not remember it and say something crazy.
Nah, it's all good.
Yeah, it's cool.
They gotta do what they gotta do.
Yeah.
But we telling the truth, so.
Yeah, because when we're in the public, man, you know, we talk at our own free will. You know what I'm saying? So you know how that goes.
Right.
But some would say y'all are playing with the internet. This the Matrix. If you understand the rules, you could get farther if we play the game a little. So,
yeah, you gotta bend a little bit, but that's the problem, man. We keep bending, man.
Yeah.
You know, we got our politicians bending, our movie stars bending. You know, your boy Russell Westbrook gave an interview the other night. I don't know what the hell he had. I don't know what type of shirt that was, man. Man,
oh yeah, Russell Westbrook.
Yeah, I could see if he was like overseas training or something, man, and he picked up a you know, some attire or something they're accustomed to over there. Man, that nigga wearing some crazy stuff, man.
Oh man, we got a new one wearing skirts and dresses. I forgot that brother's name. The newer actor, what's his name? The one that played in Get Out.
Oh yeah, man. That man had some stockings on, man. But you know, man, shout out to Griff, man. Griff say you want to be in that 20, 30, $40 million club.
But are they not? He not in the $20 million club.
He ain't in the club yet?
Not that actor, dude. Russell.
He gotta be. He crossing over then.
Some of these niggas is just funny, man.
Yeah, man, you know they paid. You know they paid him to do that bullshit.
He got paid though. I'll give you that.
Yeah.
Yo,
I'm sure he did.
Yo, ENQI in the waiting room. What we doing?
Bring him in. We said we're already live on YouTube.
Yeah, we're already live.
And the top. You said the topic is about melanin, right?
Yeah. There you go, right there.
Melanin versus diabetes and electromagnetic tissue.
Okay.
Right.
Let's get it.
Yeah. We got a real one in the building.
That's right, Dr. ENQI in the house. What's up, brother man?
We got a real one in the building.
Peace, God. How you doing?
Peace to the family. Yes, sir.
Yo. Uh-oh. Professor ENQI. What's good, fam?
Everything. Being alive.
I know that's right.
Nah. We see your work, man.
Right.
We've been students for years, so just know we respect all your moves.
Appreciate it.
What you really trying to put down.
I'll put it right there. Appreciate that, man. Definitely. Appreciate y'all for having and building a platform so niggas could come through and share some shit, you know?
Right.
As we see you on your tour.
You're on your tour, I looked at a couple, you on a couple of other platforms. Yes, that's in you on 2 different platforms.
Man, I just had to cut one early, like, you know what I'm saying? Just now, I was like, oh shit, it's 8:57. Yo, peace to the family. I gotta get out of here. Cut y'all.
Respect.
But yeah, that's, you know, we just gotta I got to try to get the word out as much as possible. Try to get people to share the article and really, you know, that's what I always wanted to do is, we live now?
Yeah, we
Yeah, we
live
live right
live.
now.
Okay, good. I always wanted to, you know, have the same impact on diabetes like Dr. Sebi did with AIDS or HIV, you know what I'm saying? So now that I feel like I got a pretty complete understanding of all of the facets of diabetes and what it does, you know, from the DNA all the way up. Yeah, it's just a matter of getting the information to the people. And then, you know, people from there is application. But, you know, if you don't know better, you can't do better. So that's the first step is always information, getting the science to the folks.
Nah,
I got one question before we start.
Yeah.
I know we have a specific topic. I don't want to get off topic, and I'm not going to talk about nothing controversial out here on the social media, nothing like that. But I want to ask you this. I ran across you with the 40-day fruit fast. I never really got off into it. Just give me a little taste of it. Now, what was that about, the 40-day fruit fast?
Well, shit, that's kind of the topic. that's definitely the actual topic. The 40-day fast came about, you know what I'm saying? That's funny, brother. Goldmine just asked me about that. But the 40-day fruit fast honestly came about just from me being a fat ass. You know what I'm saying? I was telling, you know, I don't mind sharing with people, but I'm like a fat guy at heart. You know what I'm saying? So if I'm not on my dean, you know, like some people, if they just eat and live the way they naturally are, they're slim, slender people. You know what I'm saying? That is not me. If I don't mind what I eat and exercise, I get big, and I get big quick. You know what I'm saying? So even in the vegan space, people have to be mindful of what they eat because you know, you could get crazy. And when I started out on my vegan journey, it was real strict. You know what I'm saying? Like it was quinoa, you know, white, red, beige, cabbage, white, purple, kale, mustard greens. Like just that was it though. I ate cabbage, I ate greens, I ate quinoa. That was it, nothing else. And we ate that shit, me and everybody in the house. We ate that shit morning, noon, and night. When we woke up in the morning, we was having hot bowls of quinoa or maybe some oatmeal. And then for lunch and dinner, it was some type of variation on, you know, quinoa and cabbage or quinoa and greens or quinoa with cabbage and greens. So whenever you don't have, you always get out of control as soon as you get, just like money. If you come from poverty, the first bag you get, you're going to fuck it up. You know what I'm saying? So coming out of a food desert, you know, once I got to Philly, I gained like 40 pounds in 1 month, you know, because there was so many vegan options out there. Fuck my mind up. You know, they had vegan Chinese restaurants, vegan pizza shops, you know, vegan Philly cheesesteak restaurants. You know what I'm saying? Like whole restaurants though dedicated to vegans. I was like, oh my God, what the fuck is this? Like General Tao's chicken is vegan, my nigga. Like what is happening right now? You know what I'm saying? Like, so that fucked me all the way. You know what I'm saying? But we was on the road and we was lecturing, you know, doing my ones and twos, because at that time I was doing like 3, 4, 5 cities a month on the road, lecturing and teaching. And shout out to my guy Diallo Morgan. We was in a restaurant in Chicago, and he saw me.
Born and raised.
Yeah, man, and he saw me eat. Like he saw me eat up close and personal, because you hear niggas talk about eating, but you don't really see niggas eat. He saw me eat. We went to a restaurant, and he was like, "Bro, I don't give a fuck what you teaching. I don't give a fuck if that shit is vegan or not. That cannot be healthy, bro. You cannot eat like that. That's not healthy." Because I had like 2 double cheeseburgers. I had an order of lasagna. I had like, you know, I had like 4 entrees. Then I had like 3 orders of cheesecake with like 4 or 5 different flavors of ice cream. Like I was going crazy. So he was like, yo, you know, we start shit talking each other. And he was like, you know, nah, you gotta fast. I was like, yeah, nigga, you think I can't fast, nigga? Fuck, you think I just teach this shit, nigga? This is what I do. So we started a fast, and then it became like the people in Chicago versus the people in Philly. And because we was on the road, we kind of took that conversation everywhere. So the people in Ohio got involved, and, you know, a couple other cities. And then I think his wife had a group of African church ladies or some shit. It was a group of Africa that was up there with his wife. So they took the shit back to Africa. So, you know, we did that first 40-day fast, and it just grew legs. And like for the next 10 years, you know, we was doing the 40-day fast like 3 times a year. Fast forward, you know, the article is based on, you know, my studies with all of these different types of people, because I done had white folks on the fast. I done had sick people on the fast, you know, with cancer, with diabetes, with HIV, with all kind of shit. They done did the fast with us. I done had professional athletes. I done had niggas that won the NFL Super Bowl. Like, so these niggas super healthy to an extent, you know what I'm saying? Do the fast with us. I done had professional bodybuilders do the fast, basketball players, you know, all kinds of folks, you know what I'm saying? Niggas in Ireland, niggas in Germany, niggas in South America, you know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers that don't speak no English, they need translators and shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, so all this time I got to study and see how the diet, you know, just affected different people. And certain things just became, certain little ideas just became more obvious over time. And the one thing was that, you know, we didn't kind of need food in the way that we was being taught that we needed food, you know, because going through, like, learning holistic healing, you know, you that's kind of like a street, that's kind of like a self-taught thing, you know what I'm saying? You learn that word of mouth, you know what I'm saying? You know, from the mouth of your teacher to your ear, if you're really serious with it, you know what I'm saying? And then, but from there, I also went, you know, to learn how to be a personal trainer, to be a sports nutritionist. I went to school to be a naturopathic doctor. Like, so having all these different understandings, I got to see that there's certain baseline things that they teach in every school of health. And I learned largely over the better part of 10 years that didn't really apply to Black people at all in the same way that, you know, in the same way that it's taught, you know what I'm saying? And you know,
wow.
That's the reason why we at higher risk, 200% higher risk than anybody else when it comes to diabetes. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's a wild fucking number. How is you 200% to anything like that? To me, because I couldn't even get around that concept. Like, nigga, 100% is maximum. How the fuck is we 200% higher risk than white folks to get type 2 diabetes? I'm like, what the fuck does that mean? That it's a certain guarantee? I'm like, what does that mean right there? You know what I'm saying? So just shit like that, you know what I'm saying? But the 40-day fast itself is basically it's a combination of actually 5 different types of fasts. So the first 8 days is one diet, then we switch it up. The second 8 days, then the third 8 days. So we switch up how you eat every 8 days. So I got a chance to not only work with such a wide variety of people, but to be able to look at how they function and perform and, you know, under different types of diet. And the one thing that was weird all the way across the board was the less food niggas ate, the stronger they felt. So that shit was weird. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, that shit was weird.
Is that much how much energy we use just to eat in America? Like the food is pulling that much energy out of us
Well,
to digest it?
that's a good ass question right there. It depends on what you eat. So a lot of times, the way I try to explain it at lectures, I use a gas analogy. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, if you got to drive your car to get to the gas station, right? If you low on money, you got to make a decision. Is it wise for you to drive to the gas station depending on how far it is? So if you know your gas is low and your money is low, you know what I'm saying? You got to go to work. If the gas station is $12 away from your house, $12 worth of gas away from your house, but you only got $10 to your name, it doesn't make sense for you to drive off $12 in gas to put $10 into the fucking machine. You might as well have stayed at the crib and you would be up. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of times with our food is that way. It costs our body more energy to metabolize the shit that we're eating and to digest it than we're getting out of the food. So that was the big thing, I guess, or the opening part anyway, was that all food wasn't really the same. And as highly pigmented people, we need to be on a highly pigmented diet. And you only get pigment from plants. That's where we get pigments from. So that's what we need to be on. And I got to start specifying it that way, because when you say vegan, a lot of niggas believe that vegan is based on avoiding eating animal products. And in some places it is, but that's not the shit I be on. You know what I'm saying? So when I first started, I got a lot of beef from the PETA people. Well, not them specifically, but the followers of them, like them type of vegans, you know what I'm saying? Because, I still wear, Sherlins and furs and sneakers and, leather belts. And I don't give a fuck about, I'm like, nigga, I don't give a fuck about saving the animals. The animals got to save their motherfucking self right now. Niggas is going extinct. I got to worry about saving us. I got to worry about saving my babies. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what the focus of me going to a vegan diet is. So I'm not necessarily vegan to save the animals. It's about eating the best things for me. You know what I'm saying? And that just happens to not be animal products. You know what I'm saying? It just so happens that those are plant materials. So that's what it's all about. And so, now vegan is getting convoluted, where people feel like as long as they avoiding meat, they're vegan. And if you're vegan, there's a list of health benefits that goes along with being vegan. And people switch back to eating meat when they go vegan and they don't experience these health benefits. You know what I'm saying? But that's because they don't know what the fuck they doing. You know what I'm saying? And the people that are teaching are not qualified to be fucking teachers. These niggas don't know what the fuck they doing. They just, like I was telling the brother, I said, my image sometimes, because of our self-hate and the way we've been programmed and brainwashed, it fucks people up. So when you see a nigga with gold teeth and a gold chain, you don't think of him as anything more than a criminal in your mind. You don't think of him as a teacher, a father, a scientist, a scholar. Because that's not the image associated with that. He either needs to dress preppy like Carlton, or he needs to be wearing a white jacket with a badge on it from a hospital somewhere, right, for him to know what the fuck he's talking about. So, yeah. So if you got gold teeth and a gold chain, you clearly must be a hustler. And once niggas reduce what it is that you do to hustling, oh, well, shit. We look at ourselves in the mirror every day. We hear our voice all day. So shit, we think in our mind, well, shit, I'm as good as hustler as him. I need to get my hustle on. So now I need to get me some herbs and some sea moss and start hustling my shit. So it becomes relegated to a hustle, and people can't really, communicate what they need to communicate in order for people to get the benefits. And so it doesn't have staying power. You know what I'm saying? The first thing people notice when they come off of meat, depending on what type of meat they was eating and what their daily life look like, is their energy levels go down. Yeah. And, depending on what you're doing, that's a killer right there for you. You're like, oh shit, no, I had to start eating me back a little bit of meat because my energy got too low. I couldn't hit the gym, or I couldn't play my sport, or I couldn't do, what I normally, I couldn't do my day-to-days being a vegan. That shit don't provide me enough energy.
But it's the other way around though.
It depends, you know what I'm saying, what you eat as a vegan. You know what I'm saying? You might switch to being a vegan and you eating a lot of veggie meats that's like fake meat. You eating a lot of starch, and you don't exercise, you're not going to experience that. Because if you eat a lot of steaks and chicken breasts and shit like that, you're getting the creatine that's in the animal flesh. Creatine helps your body recycle ATP. So a lot of people hear about ATP, mitochondria, but creatine is something that's naturally reproduced in the body. You could buy it in the store, but creatine is made naturally in all of your muscle tissues, and it helps your muscles recycle ATP. When you eat meat, your body produces a lot less creatine because you're eating the creatine in the form of the meat. That's why they say when you buy the supplement creatine from the GNC or the vitamin shop, wherever, you got to know how to cycle it, because your body will stop producing creatine when you take the synthetic form. Well, eating meat provides you with another synthetic form because you're getting it from the animal, so your body lowers it down. So immediately, as soon as you stop eating meat, your energy is low because you don't have as much creatine to continue to recycle that ATP. What you got to do now is start exercising so you build up a higher amount of mitochondria, which produces more creatine in the body. And now you back to that high energy level, even higher than you was in terms of when you was on the meat diet. You know what I'm saying? And that just may take a few weeks, a month or whatever the case may be, of rebalancing your shit. But if you don't know to expect that little dip, when that dip come, you're like, oh, this is something, this ain't what it's supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? I got to at least bring some fish in, or I got to go back to a little bit of chicken, or I got to bring something in. So, just people not being qualified to really speak on this shit hurts it overall too. So, it's a lot of shit with it.
Yeah. I like what you just said too, and breaking it down. And we do that. When I first saw you, I seen you with the gold teeth and the things, but then I saw you on the 40-day fruit fast. You had on the white jacket. I said, oh, okay, he got some skills. So so that's what led me to to check you out though. But I never judge a book by its cover, because a lot of people see me. Of course, I got glasses, hat on, whatever, and they probably look at me like this is just a regular Joe. But then when I speak out my mouth, you know what I'm saying? It's all about us speaking out of our mouth, speaking what we know as far as the knowledge that we pertain in our mind and in our brain. You know what I'm saying? We speak it out, and they be like, oh, okay, you know what he's talking about.
Know something. Yeah. Absolutely. Hell yeah.
Now we go way back, man. ENQI, we met a few times too. I'm from New York.
What city?
New York.
Okay.
South, Redfield, all of them niggas.
Okay, yeah. 125th.
Yeah. I ain't gonna pull out no pics or nothing. But
yeah. Yeah.
That was pre-Instagram. Those was real
man. Pics. Yo, let me tell you before you finish, not sorry to cut your wisdom, but that's another thing that I be telling these people. I'm like, yo, it's not that it's a bad thing, but y'all new folks have to take this shit take it with a grain of salt, that y'all are getting consciousness on the internet. Like there was a time that we wasn't on the internet. You had to really be at these lectures and really sit in you had to be there to get this shit. You know what I'm saying? and that created a different atmosphere. It was less goofy shit because you had to really be, you know, people speak to you and people speak about you differently on the internet than they would do in front of you. You know what I'm saying? Like, because it's a different type of energy. But from the safety of niggas' home computer, you know, this shit get real greasy. So, and then the new generation, you know, they didn't sit around and watch niggas like Khalid Muhammad move around. You know what I'm saying? They didn't see how serious these niggas was. You know what I'm saying? Some of these niggas couldn't even share the same room together because it was that serious. So a lot of times they'd be like, "Oh, why y'all arguing? You know, the elders didn't do that." I said, "What fucking elders you talking about? What elders you talking about? The niggas was going to fucking war all the time. I can name names, events, times, places.
That was classy war though.
Facts.
They were classy though.
Well, because they kept it on the information. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't about people's mamas and children, and you know, it didn't get to the petty shit. You know what I'm saying? But
yeah,
a lot of that is when we brung in the battle rap culture. You know what I'm saying? Because the battle rap culture does that. So once the debate culture merged with the battle rap culture, then it became like, oh, well, this must be, you know, it's okay to do this because that's what we're seeing on TV. So this is a way to get famous. You know, I could, you know, dig up dirt on niggas' personal business, and that will destroy the credibility of his lesson. So that way I don't even have to worry about being as good a teacher. Because see, back then we was competing to learn the information and be better teachers than one another. Yeah. But now, because niggas, you know, a lot of these niggas can barely fucking read.
Facts.
It becomes easier to just say, well, I can't compete with him in terms of the information. So what I'm gonna do is try to stop niggas from we're not even gonna get that far. I'm gonna try to take his credibility away early on, and then we'll just argue it out over that shit on some playground shit. You know?
Yeah, I'm gonna cut you off. I seen where you got cut off on the Morris World TV.
A lot of different places, you know what I'm saying? We're gonna leave 2021 and 2021, but you know, a lot of different places, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So yeah, I say that all the time, man. These guys, man, all these damn YouTube degrees, man. See, back then we was buying books. You know what I'm saying? We break it down. We win the books. We read.
Yeah.
These jokers, man, they watch 4-5 people on YouTube. They start their own platform. They automatically just start critiquing. Facts. And then ain't none of them set up under no elders. Like you just mentioned, Khalid Muhammad. Yeah. That's an elder. Ain't none of them set up under no elders. Ain't nobody got no real nourishment or nothing, man. They haven't learned how to be a character. They haven't even learned how to be a man because they ain't set up under no real man.
Yeah.
Then you want to come out and have a whole lecture.
Yeah, because you would go to the lectures and the events, but them shits was like you was going to see like a star when you went to go see them shits. Like you know what I'm saying. So after that, you get in the books and you're going to have little study groups where it might be 5-10 niggas in the crib or in the staircase, wherever. Y'all locked in for hours going into the books and no, it say this and this wait, pull up an encyclopedia, and you had to actually have encyclopedias, nigga. It wasn't Google, you know what I'm saying? You had to open up other books to verify this shit and move. Like it was just a different climate, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, I try to bring that back and try to bring that energy back in terms of getting people excited about studying again and making people understand that, you know, we have to become, in order to get the achievements that we want to get, you know, globally, in any sphere, whether it's economics, sports, or whatever it is that we're trying to do, we have to be students, you know what I'm saying? Before we could be, you know, teachers, you know, and then even after you become a teacher, your ability to go back and forth between being a teacher and a student is what's going to determine your longevity as a teacher. Because if you don't continue to learn, then you can't continue to teach. You don't have any, you're gonna run out of shit to teach. You can't, you know, so you can't keep sitting in front of niggas with the same old shit, you know what I'm saying? And after a while, if you got good students, they're gonna learn your whole shit and then they're gonna surpass you. So if you want to continue to be a teacher, you got to continue to be a student. And, you know, our egos and the way social media is set up, it kind of prevents that because we want to hide our sources and hide who we studying from, you know, to make it seem like, nah, follow me. You know what I'm saying? If I tell you I done learned something over there, you know, from Mama Pill, maybe I'm scared that you're going to stop watching me and only watch Mama Pill. Or, you know, like if I say I'm studying some shit from Dr. Africa, well, maybe they won't follow my shit. Maybe they'll only look at Dr. Africa. You know what I'm saying? Like, niggas got to come from out of that type of shit. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
But that's a byproduct of this, you know, the way social media even, you know, works through the pigment system in the brain and produces dopamine when you get likes and when you see you got comments, like that shit releases you release internal opioids, so you get an actual high from this shit. That's how niggas get addicted to checking their phone. You know what I'm saying? Where motherfuckers wake up in the morning before they check their significant other, before they go and check their babies, how their babies slept, how their babies woke up, if their babies are still in the fucking house. Maybe they got fucking kidnapped in the middle of the night. You don't know shit. You woke up, the first thing you checked was your cell phone to see if niggas, to see if somebody commented or left a like on your shit or text messaged you or some shit. You know what I'm saying? Because our brains are now addicted to that, you know, that feedback loop. You know what I'm saying? So niggas just got to remember that, you know, technology is a tool to use, but it can't be, you know, it can never replace reality. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I just try to put that back on to motherfuckers like, nah, man, we got to study again.
Right.
You know, whatever it is that we're doing, we gotta study. You know, LeBron is mastering basketball, not because he had a gift, an incredible gift. You know what I'm saying? His gift was he studied the game. You know, he wasn't the highest jumper. He's not the fastest runner. He's not the tallest nigga. He's not the biggest nigga. He's not the shortest nigga. Like he's not the EST of any category except the smartest. You know what I'm saying? So he done fucked around and created a record that nobody even came close to. This nigga got 35,000 points, 10,000 rebounds, and 10,000 assists. Nobody ever in history of basketball has no shit like that. Period.
He's still not better than Mike though.
Maybe in a no. Here's the thing. Maybe, and the reality is, if you compare Michael Jordan's 6-year run of winning championships to a 6-year time period of LeBron's, then you could definitely clearly say that Michael Jordan was not only better than LeBron, but he was the greatest of all time. But if you comparing career, the numbers speak for itself. You know what I'm saying? Like it's bigger than rings because
he played. Michael Jordan didn't play as long as he did.
Right, he get the longevity award.
Right, but even that's something that you got to earn for. Like when people be saying that, they act like as long as you on the roster, you get. You know what I'm saying? Like nah, that nigga in year 19, he's scoring the same amount of points as he was in year 5.
Yeah, he called.
That's some other shit. Because when you see when you see niggas get older, usually you watch them decline. They statistics go down. You know, when
the stats.
When Wilt, Kobe, even Mike, when Mike was at Washington Wizards, his shit was
when he came back, his stuff,
That's why the Michael Jordan fans like to have amnesia about that shit. They don't want to compare that Washington Wizards shit that was going on over there. You know, that's not a part of you know, they only say, well, you know, Mike won the 6 rings and he ain't never he never lost the championship.
17-4.
That Wizards shit was crazy over there. You know what I'm saying? And not only the Wizards shit, but before the championship, Mike was playing in the 80s. When he was playing up against Isaiah and them niggas, they was making Mike cry. You know what I'm saying? So
he was going through it though.
Right. No, absolutely. He was good, but he was taking L's. He never beat none of the great teams in the 80s. He never beat
he did not. And that, I debated somebody like that, man. The dude told me I didn't know what I was talking about. I told him, I said, well, young fella, you're not old enough.
Yeah, you know, but when Mike had his reign of terror, there was no complete reign of terror as thorough as his. There's no way you could win a championship in Mike's time. You couldn't get a scoring title. You couldn't get a motherfucking thing in Mike's window. So that 6-year time span was the greatest time span that you could say a boxer had. I mean, a basketball player had.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
LeBron, you could get famous in LeBron era.
Facts.
Curry,
Facts.
Leonard.
Yeah.
Kyrie, Dirk.
No, that's a fact.
Boy been losing a lot too. I'm
Yeah,
giving him props. He's just not better than Mike. And let me ask you this. Since we talking basketball, I'm gonna throw a little angle in there. Since you was playing ball back in the day, you was nice too. You don't see them playing the zone.
It's the triangle.
LeBron playing in what we used to call girl basketball. You know we can't play zone.
Well, the thing is,
yeah, answer that one.
I'll explain it easier. When you got trash niggas, right, on your team, no, you got to do it because, and that's sometimes it makes LeBron look like he's not playing defense. But what happens is you have to play 3 or 4 feet away from your man because you got to play behind this nigga because you already know he's horrible. So his man getting ready to blow past him. So you got to damn near guard 2 or 3 niggas at the same time.
Everybody nice then, ENQI, because you play ball. If D ain't really nice and he drop past you, why am I leaving the best shooter on their team to go to D because he passed you? D not even nice like that. Does it make sense that I double D because he passed you and then I leave my man who could really shoot wide open? Why am I doubling D?
Because LeBron has been asked to do more things than any other players have been asked to do. That's another thing that can't be compared. Like when you look at everybody else, like for instance, Kevin Durant, Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, the way their team's been set up, they only need to score. Yo, go score. We'll get you a defensive specialist on your team. So they had Klay Thompson and Iguodala on Golden State. Their job is to hold it down with defense. Michael Jordan has Scottie Pippen. Like they'll find you a defensive specialist to back you up where they want LeBron to be that defensive specialist. And they want LeBron to be the scorer. And they want LeBron to be the facilitator and pass the rock around. So his workload higher than everybody else shit. You know what I'm saying? So that's a thing that you also got to take into consideration is how many different jobs are you asking this nigga to do out there? You know what I'm saying? Because there's only one guy. You know what I'm saying? So it's like when you look at Kyrie go out there with a one-track mind, period. That's like Kobe's son. He's coming out there to annihilate you on the offensive end. But on defense, niggas be blowing right by Kyrie. That nigga ain't getting no rebounds. He ain't getting no assists. He ain't getting no steals. He might have 1 or 2 steals. He ain't doing a motherfucking thing but being an offensive assassinator. You know what I'm saying? Where LeBron is going to be critiqued in every area. He got to be a defensive specialist. We want to see LeBron get 3 steals, 4 blocks, and we want to see LeBron get 10 assists. And we need to see LeBron crashing the boards with 10 rebounds. And goddamn, nigga, you only got 25 points. You know what I'm saying? So the workload be way higher for him. That's why his statistics now, he's the only player to ever have such a record like that with 35,000, 10,000 and 10,000 because nobody else even was asked of that to be considered great. They didn't care if Mike had no assists. You know what I'm saying? Because we're going to get you BJ Armstrong or Steve Kerr to pass the ball. They didn't care if MJ guarded the toughest guy on the other team because we're going to get you Scotty for that. So you could save your energy for the offensive side. It's hard to be as efficient on the offensive side when I got to come back and guard the toughest nigga. You know what I'm saying? So when you look at them battles with LeBron in the championships, he either had to guard Steph guard Kevin Durant, like your man Skip be making a big deal. Oh, Kevin Durant shot the 3 in LeBron's eye. Yeah, because LeBron was guarding him, nigga. But on the other end, Kevin Durant was switching the fuck off, letting Iguodala guard LeBron so he could take a fucking breather. You know what I'm saying? So this shit just don't be balanced. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, that nigga got the record books, and the record books look insane. Them
He do. You're right about that.
The record books look crazy. So like once we all dead and gone, like once we all die, because see, remember, this is another reason why athletes are always seen as greater when they no longer playing. Because once the generation that lived with you is dead and you just got niggas looking at the record books, oh, it's gonna look crazy. It's not even gonna be a conversation. Every generation after my kids, every generation is gonna say LeBron is hands down the greatest, and it's not even gonna be close because Michael Jordan is not even the next closest player in the scoring title. So as much as niggas talk about Mike scoring, he's not even close to LeBron scoring. And LeBron have a better shooting percentage from the field and from the three-pointer than Mike. So it's not just like he scored more, but he's more better. He's more efficient at scoring. Then he scored thousands and thousands more points, thousands and thousands more rebounds, thousands and thousands more assists. You know what I'm saying? So the numbers
just rings, man. We only counting the rings, baby.
Now look. When people say that, you got to say, well, if we only counting rings, you got to remember Robert Horry got 7 rings. So that's the same as saying Robert Horry better than Mike.
Bill Russell.
Rings. Bill Russell got 11 rings.
He might be.
No, we know that.
LeBron now.
Nah. See, if we make it rings don't hold up because it's too many people that got more rings than Mike.
Yeah, that's true.
It's a different era, though. Come on, this is the soft era.
Nah.
Come on, I'm wide open every shot, though.
Well, that
makes it no, but look, that makes it harder. Listen, think about this. Think about the best defenders from the 90s. Because I had this argument with Chris Bouchard. Me and him was going back about this shit. Think about the best defenders from the 90s. Look at the man Derek Harper. Derek Harper was a fat nigga. And if you think about actually playing ball on the basketball court, the only way somebody that's out of shape could guard somebody that's faster and in better shape is by fouling. You got to grab, you got to hold, you got to beat them up. When you can no longer grab and hold a nigga, you actually have to stay in front of him with your speed and quickness. So that makes it a harder task. Nobody in the 90s ever had to guard a nigga that was 7 foot tall with a 3-point shot like Kevin Durant.
Nobody.
Yeah, but I'm not running around the court the same way.
That's my point.
No, in your era, in this era, I'm really standing there, ENQI right there by the 3. I'm not really holding ENQI because I'm looking at D dribble over here, waiting. So I'm not really like guarding ENQI. I'm kind of off you a little. It's a zone.
Listen,
I'm resting all through that.
Look, I'm just gonna agree to disagree. This is an infinite. Listen, this is an infinite argument, and we will have this shit till 11 o'clock. And niggas
probably 12.
Man, niggas will be like, "Yo, what happened to the melanin?
Yeah, to the thing.
What the fuck?"
I got
nigga, we was discussing melanin. Nigga, how you think niggas can play ball the way they do is the melanin.
It's the melanin.
So this is a melanin conversation. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what give niggas the advanced movement and all that. You know, we have a much greater percentage of fast twitch muscles than slow twitch muscles. You know what I'm saying? And that's because people from the equator, it starts in the cell, and the differences that we have in the cell in terms of energy production, that translates to different types of muscle fibers, and that translates to different type of hormone production. So, on one level, we basically the same because we all got a brain, a heart, a liver, 10 fingers, 10 toes, shit like that. But when you get into the specifics of our anatomy, we are really all way fucking different.
Right.
They don't want us to know that. It's a blood war, like for melanin. They know exactly what we are.
That's a fact.
I got a question for you. Are you familiar with PT-141?
PT-141. What's that?
I think that's the well, I was doing some research on that we are the only race of people that actually get research on. And they come up with PT-141, which is melanin, and it's actually an enhancement, like a sexual enhancement.
Oh, it's a synthetic. Yeah. It's a synthetic type of yeah. They got that. They got a polydopamine. They got a bunch of synthetic melanins out there.
Yeah. You familiar with that?
I'm familiar with a bunch of them. Absolutely.
With a bunch. So let me ask you this. So it's that particular I'm gonna ask you like this. So those tests that they running to find out that synthetic melanin, is it coming from the afterbirth or is it coming from us when we die?
Oh shit. Man, they've been, they study us under so many different names,
Okay.
When they say, like, and it fucks me up when I watch these online niggas. They come back to me, and again, because they can't respect, they have the self-hate in their mind. So immediately they always looking for a white person. So they come back to me and ask me about, Gerald Pollack. They come back and ask me about Jack Cruz. They come back and ask me about just all these different white guys that they follow. And I'm like, bruh, photo modulation with what the fuck is this German white guy's name? But all these different white guys. And I'm like, bro, they not going to teach you about you. You niggas is fucking goofy going over there. When they telling you about, oh, your health is all regulated by mitochondria, because you don't know enough to know that mitochondria is regulated by melanin. You think that that's really real right there. No, nigga, melanin controls mitochondria. So those studies is about melanin. When they telling you about stem cells, the stem cells comes from the endometrial lining, particularly of Black women. So, that's still even discussing your pigment, because that's the womb where we got, when they talk about Parkinson's, Alzheimer's, that's neuromelanin they study. And like, it's just so many different ways that they cover up studying our genetics and our body, because or these niggas will tell you, like this goofy nigga that came up with this melanin does photosynthesis shit, Arturo Salas Herrera. He'll tell you, oh, well, I was studying the eye, and while I was studying the eye, I found out all this woo-woo. Bruh, you study in the eye because that's the only available place where you got external pigment. But if as a Black person, we have not only melanin in our skin, but we got all the pigments that's in our eyes in our skin also. So the same rhodopsin that makes the rods in your eye, we have that shit all in our skin. You know what I'm saying? Like, we got all the pigments from our eyes in our skin. Like, this shit is a lot deeper than motherfuckers would think. So even most of the studies on eye health and all of that stems from, just studying pigment. Psychiatry is the study of pigment. You can't do nothing in the fucking human brain without studying neuromelanin. So what they try to do is create synthetic analogs that they can, monetize and get a bag off. When they talk about quantum biology, quantum biology and quantum mechanics, the study of quantum biology came from quantum mechanics. The study of quantum mechanics came from the study of black body radiation. Black body radiation is studying perfect absorbers. And the only perfect absorber ever created by nature is eumelanin. Eumelanin is the only thing that's able to absorb all forms of electromagnetic radiation. So that is the number one source of black body radiation on Earth, like, period. So all of those things come from studying our genetics. So it just don't matter what facet of science you talk about, they studying us. But they need to keep the language off of us so that, you know, because all these things is where power is derived from. You know, you get money from controlling education and controlling cash. I mean, you get power from controlling, you know, money and education. So as long as you understand that the money is not being made off you, you know what I'm saying, which it is clearly, and that the education is not based on you, which it is, you know, that'll keep you as a subject instead of understanding that, you know, you have an intrinsic value that exceeds any type of physical or monetary poverty that you might temporarily live in. And that would create a sense of pride that would immediately change people's mindsets.
Paradigm.
Yeah, it'll be a paradigm shift over fucking night. Niggas, it'd be the whole poverty mentality, the whole, you know, the whole black on black crime, the drug use, all that shit would go down immediately because we would really realize that, you know, we're special, you know what I'm saying? And we something that, our, you know, self-esteem issues and anxiety and just it's so many different things would just vanish over fucking night. You know what I'm saying? And then, you know, we'd be a force to be fucking reckoned with. You know what I'm saying? Instead of being, you know, like cattle, you know, we still like cattle. You know what I'm saying? We still just moved around as a large herd, you know, to be monetized in different ways. And type 2 diabetes, no different. The average diabetic spends between $6,000 and $12,000 a year on medicine, and that number's going up. Yeah, that number's going up to about 20,000 with the cost of insulin.
That's what I want you to do for the family. Break down sugar. Break down sugar for us.
So, okay, so sugar is 8 times as addictive as cocaine and 5 times more likely to be the cause of death than cocaine. So that right there would tell you a whole lot about sugar all by itself. 8 times more addictive than cocaine, 5 times more likely to be the cause of death than cocaine. And mind you, they make crack from cocaine. So how the fuck is it that sugar is 5 times more likely to be the cause of death than cocaine, and crack is made from cocaine, right?
Right.
From there, you can, you know, it's different directions you can go with it. In your body, you have blood sugar, you have organ sugar. You have, you know, sugar from processed foods versus sugar in maybe fruits and vegetables. You know, people ask me about that all the time. Like, are you just talking about processed sugar, or are you talking about sugar from fruits and vegetables? Well, if you're in a compromised place, most of us, we have to cut the sugar, period. So when you transition and trying to clean up your body, you can't even really engage in too many sweet fruits.
Gotcha.
Because that's still too much sugar. You elevating your insulin. Every time you eat sugar, wherever you get it from, you elevate your glucose and your insulin for about 5 hours.
Wow.
Yeah, your insulin and your insulin, your sugar, and your insulin receptors stay elevated for about 4 to 5 hours. So unless we exercise, then the exercise will immediately bring that all the way down, right? But most times we working, or we sleeping, or we go to school, or we doing some shit where we're not really doing anything. And then because the sugar is so addictive, what happens is we get fake hunger signals. So we get signals that make us want to eat again that has nothing to do with whether we're hungry. We still got food in our stomach. We still got food in our digestive system. But because we want another hit, we get a hunger signal. So we walk in the kitchen and we just start looking around like, damn, what I'm gonna make? And it's food everywhere, but you don't want none of that shit that's around. You looking for something sugary. So you're like, damn, let me run to the store real quick and get me a bag of Oreos, or let me go get me a milkshake, or let me go get some French fries. You know what I'm saying? Because we getting ready to put ketchup on the French fries. You know, we don't realize that a cup of a little tiny serving of ketchup has damn near 5 times as much sugar as a glazed donut. What? Yeah. So we don't understand the dynamics with the shit. So sugar attacks all of the pigment centers in the body. It coats the pigment and stops the pigment from functioning. Now, when you realize that pigment is your blood flow, it's not only your blood flow because it coats the vessels inside where your circulatory system, but it's also your blood cells. Your pigment is also your nerve cells. So your nerves all through the body are filled with neuromelanin. These are your brain cells. So pigment in the brain gets destroyed, you know what I'm saying? And that's why people with even pre-diabetes, their brain shrinks. You know, when we have our children and we give our children all this sugary shit to eat all the time, they have an incomplete brain development. So you got a lot of adults running around with incomplete brain development. You know, you got shit, it's over 100. You know what I'm saying? You can't even, if you went onto your, like Google or something, and you tried to look up all of the nucleuses or the nuclei in the brain, it damn near is like 100 or more of them shit. It's too many of them. And all of those are, they're neurons, and neurons are all neuromelanin cells. You know what I'm saying? So they get destroyed from the sugar. So this is how the brain shrinks and you get holes in your brain. Kids, and that's for adults, but kids, they get an incomplete brain development. So they're not even prepared to learn when they get to school. So the sugar puts them on an early pathway to be pipelined to prison because they can't learn in school. So if you can't learn and study, you're gonna have to use your strength to get your money and to make your way and to make your friends and to establish yourself. You know what I'm saying? So you're going to have to establish yourself with your fists. You're going to have to speak with your fists. You know what I'm saying? You're going to have to get out and make your money somewhere in the street with your fists, or you locked into being like a warehouse worker or construction worker for life. You don't have a future where you can really transition into other shit. It just determines so many different facets of your life, and then when we couple that with, say, dairy products, dairy products prep us to be addicted to, they take advantage of those extra opioid receptors that we have, because you get a lot more morphine in cow's milk than your body was designed to handle. Every mammal naturally produces morphine in the milk. It's called casomorphine. That's why when, babies drink breast milk, they go to sleep after they get fed, because the casomorphine puts them to sleep. But the difference between having your mother's breast milk and a cow's breast milk is that the cow's breast milk is designed for a 70, 80, or 90-pound calf. That's damn near a fucking teenager in terms of a human weight scale. The human mama's breast is making enough casomorphine to put 8-pound motherfucker to sleep. You know what I'm saying? So that's a way you're getting 12 times the amount of morphine when you're drinking the cow's milk. So that makes that opioid receptor system way more active than it's supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? So, if people not familiar, they could just look up casomorphine. casomorphine. So just a lot of different practices, you know what I'm saying? And then even one of the sisters I was talking to earlier, she was like, a lot of times people look at what their grandparents did and feel like, well, my grandparents did this, they was all right, so I should be able to do this. But You're not your grandparents, you know, and we don't live like our grandparents. We don't eat like our grandparents. So we nothing even compared close to them. You know, I got a grandpops, you know what I'm saying, that lived to 90 something years old, drinking fucking whiskey every fucking day, all day, and smoking big fat ass cigars. You know what I'm saying? But this nigga worked out in the sun, the hot ass sun, for 8, 9, 10, 11 hours a day. And he ate food fresh from the fucking garden 2, 3, 4 times a day. Every meal was loaded with nutritious veggies. These niggas didn't even know what the fuck McDonald's or Burger King was. They didn't even know what Chinese food was. You know what I'm saying? So they had certain things in place that kept them healthy, kept them alive, kept their immune system strong that we just don't have. So what we're trying to do is have all of the bad habits of today combined with the bad habits of yesterday and none of the benefits, and then try to like that ain't gonna work. That's why if we do what our grandparents did, we're not gonna live to 90, we're gonna live to 60.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And we just creating a system where slowly but surely we're getting weaker and weaker and weaker. And, you know, as much as niggas like to celebrate melanin online, most niggas have had, you know, your melanin is being weaponized against you. So you can't even go out and enjoy no sun. You know what I'm saying? Niggas get out there for 10 minutes in the sun, they getting a headache, they getting woozy, they getting nauseous. Niggas like, yo, hold on, man. We got to find some AC. It's hot out here. This shit crazy. Yo, we got to get in the car and then turn on the air conditioner. This shit too hot. Like, because we no longer can even take the sun, you know what I'm saying? No matter how dark we are, because, you know, we're not in the condition for it. So, you know, sugar affects us in like just a zillion different ways.
I got a question for you. So sugar is, crack cocaine is one molecule away from sugar. Am I saying it right? Or sugar is one molecule away from crack cocaine?
I would say it's close to sugar. I mean, it's close to cocaine, but crack is more concentrated. It's a different animal. You know what I'm saying? But it's still a starch, just like French fries. It's still a starch, just like French fries. That's why niggas be hooked on the motherfucking McDonald's fries like a motherfucker, boy. But no. It's really the salt. You know, melanin in your body has an affinity for sodium, you know, just like, you know, you talk about chlorophyll and magnesium or hemoglobin and iron, you know, the melanin in your body has an affinity for sodium. So even sodium, you know, we gotta consume sodium different. Like our body just different. So the way we deal with sodium got to be different. We have to have much more potassium than everybody else in order for sodium to balance. So the problem is not really with how much salt we eat, it's how little potassium we getting into our diet. You know, just a lot of them little key pieces. You know what I'm saying? Like knowing them ratios. You know what's the proper ratio to get shit in. You know, whenever we consume a milligram of sodium, we should have at least 4 to 7 milligrams of potassium to go with it. But processed food is upside down. You get 2 to 3 times as much sodium as potassium. You know, same thing with you know, omega-3s and omega-6s. We use a lot of them crazy oils. Y'all need to be in the bed. Thank you. It's 10 o'clock. Stop taking advantage of the fact that I'm online. They be violating the fuck out of me when I be on live stream, bro. Live stream me.
You on live stream, come on.
Man, live stream me. Ain't no adults to this motherfucker. We running shit. We up, nigga. We up. I get off the live stream at 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock. They like, Dad, how was the live stream? I'm like, nigga, you don't get your ass in the bed. You're not supposed to be asking me no questions right now, nigga. You're supposed to be asleep.
Yeah, that's right. ENQI, that's John Hargrove. That's the head of the UNIA in Atlanta, Division 421.
Peace, my brother.
Peace to the bros, pal. Happy to have you on, man. Happy to be on with you.
Pleasure. My pleasure. My pleasure. My honor as well. But yeah, I ain't got much right now. I'm gonna wait, but just listening, my brother.
Definitely.
Question.
I know that.
Okay, so as far as eating healthy and everything, it's so much GMO out here. The only way that you can eat healthy is if you grow your own food, your own product.
Yeah, but it's levels to it. You know what I'm saying? You don't really gotta like it's a level where you get to where you gotta start, thinking about growing your own stuff. But it's baby steps to it. You know what I'm saying? Like
what I'm saying, like if I go get some collard greens or some broccoli or Brussels sprouts from the local grocery store, is it healthy? Is it healthy for me? Because there's so much GMO out here.
But that's what I'm saying. It's levels to it because you got to think like this. We gonna eat regardless.
Right.
So if the question is the vegetables from the supermarket as healthy as maybe from a farmer's market, the answer is probably hell no. But in reality, that ain't the real question. The real question is, are the vegetables from the supermarket healthier than the rice and the mac and cheese from the supermarket?
Right, yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Because that's what's going to wind up on people's plate, because we're going to eat regardless. So it really comes down to, okay, what are we eating right now in real time? And just how can I slowly but surely improve that? So like if, for instance, when I was a kid, they are wilding right now. Hold on, let me mute this real quick.
Daddy.
Man, so niggas trying to sneak past my office and shit. I can hear their little feet going down the hall. But so for instance, like when I was little, my favorite cereal was Frosty Flakes. Like I was really like, I had other favorites, but Frosty Flakes was like the overall, I like Mr. T cereal, Captain Crunch, shit like that. But Frosty Flakes was like, so if you like Frosted Flakes, right? You don't got to go all the way super far away from it. You could just or your kids like it. You can start getting a cereal called Heritage Flakes. You know what I'm saying? It has the same type of sweet taste. It really tastes good. Like I haven't met no children that don't like it. You know what I'm saying? And you put the Heritage Flakes with some vanilla almond milk. Oh man, that shit slapping. You know what I'm saying? But the Heritage Flakes is a little bit better than the Frosted Flakes, and the almond milk is a little bit better than the cow's milk. You know what I'm saying? Now, I can. There's breakfasts that's way more healthy and nutritious than that, but that's a step up where it's comfortable and you can make a transition. You know what I'm saying? And you can slowly start to wean yourself, because if we don't have cancer, diabetes, or something crazy going on, we don't necessarily need to do a super gross overhaul of our diet overnight. We could just make the gradual changes. If we eat a lot of white rice and yellow rice, we could just switch to brown and black rice.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Just making them changes, just making sure like, okay, let me make sure I have something that is close to being alive on my plate every time I eat. You know what I'm saying? Let me get some greens in. But when I make the greens, I don't want to make the greens with smoked turkey necks and all. You know what I'm saying? Like, because then it get crazy if it's just about greens. Niggas going to get greens cooked with pork and turkey and chicken in it. You know what I'm saying? But then even with the greens, you could start to move around and get some different types of greens. You know what I'm saying? Like mustard greens, real good. You know what I'm saying? The bitter, the better. But niggas don't like the bitter taste of mustard greens. But it's bitter because it got a strong fruit profile in there. And we got to do that to start changing our taste buds out. Your taste buds is based on what you eat mostly. So if you eat a lot of bitter foods, then you got a lot of bitter taste buds. But on the flip side, if you eat a lot of sugary foods, you got a lot of sugary taste buds. And because we feed our children primarily sugar-based food, it's hard to get them to switch to anything nutritious because they're going to say it's nasty. And that doesn't have anything to do with the food as much as it has to do with the type of taste buds you done built inside them. You know, and it only takes 21, 3 or 4 weeks to change up, to start replacing them taste buds with different types of taste buds. You know what I'm saying? So that's a key factor. Is like, how do we get over the hump where even if, okay, my kid's been eating a bunch of sweet shit, how do I get them to start eating healthier?
Right, right.
That slow change where it's not overnight. You don't want to blast them overnight to salad and fucking, raw kale salad from nigga just had McDonald's yesterday. Now you hitting them with the raw kale salad. Like, nah, you know what I'm saying? If we in that space, then you might want to go with, we're just replacing the burger, you know what I'm saying? And replacing bread, instead of getting bread that has 1 gram of fiber in it, make sure that each slice of bread has at least 3 or 4 grams of fiber in it. You know what I'm saying? So we just switching to high fiber. That's the main thing to pay attention to.
Right.
A lot of niggas be trying to go healthy and they wind up buying $5 and $6 loaves of fucking bread that's still no good. Like, them shits be goofy. Most of them should just be like, that'd be hustle bread. You know what I'm saying? They just getting, they just charging you a lot, but that shit you might as well have got the 99-cent white bread because it's going to hit your blood and turn into sugar. You know what I'm saying?
Multi-grain breads.
Well, even a lot of the multi-grain breads be fake. They put a little bit of molasses in white bread dough to make it brown. And then when niggas see it got some color to it, we think, oh yeah, this nutritious right here. No, nigga, that shit sugary, and you about to waste some money. You know what I'm saying? So the idea is this:
you can taste a little bit of sugar in it as well. Say that.
Yeah, them shits be sweet. So it's just a matter of making sure that you're getting high fiber bread. You know what I'm saying? Right. And then okay, boom. Now we having high fiber bread with a veggie patty instead of the burger. You know what I'm saying? So we get a Beyond joint, Beyond beef and some high fiber bread. You know what I'm saying? Cut, the ketchup. There's some vegan ketchups out there. That's cool, but them shit's expensive. So you can't really you got to wean niggas off ketchup. I don't know what niggas' pockets is like, but I'm a single dad with 5 babies. So them $5 bottles of ketchup don't fucking play too heavy in my crib. We might get them joints once in a while. So when I bring ketchup in this motherfucker, it's a celebration. Niggas happy to see ketchup in this motherfucker. It's like, oh shit, Dad, we got ketchup. What we doing? Like they trying to figure out what we celebrate. Like, what's happening, Dad? You got ketchup? You know what I'm saying? Because otherwise, no, you need to get used to the actual taste of food again. You know what I'm saying? We so used to covering up the food and condiments. We don't even know what the food really tastes like no more that we eat. You know what I'm saying? A lot of us, we looking for the mayo ketchup taste when we have a burger. You know what I'm saying? So it don't matter what's in between the bread. As long as it's hot and we can mix mayo and ketchup on that shit, that's the taste we looking for.
Right,
you know
right.
But
I have another question about detox.
Go ahead.
Detox. What you think about these detox living bitters?
Ooh,
how they affect them?
I could only speak for my bitters, to be honest. I don't know what the ingredients is in there. And a lot of people use a lot of they use a lot of different ingredients in their shit, or a lot of people might use, for instance, vinegars. You know what I'm saying? They might use vinegar to make their products, you know what I'm saying? Whereas, and a lot of Black people, again, this is not knowing how your body work. So you got a lot of overnight hustler healers. These are hustler healers. So the hustler healers recommends to use shit like apple cider vinegar.
Right.
Aloe vera. Let me think of some more. But if you look up, for instance, if you go to your Google search and you type in vinegar and melanin, you will get a whole bunch of hits that comes up that shows you that vinegar destroys melanin.
What?
Oh.
Yeah, they use vinegar as a skin whitener. So that's not something that you as a holistic healer, you recommending the black folks to heal their body with vinegar, nigga, because that's erasing that's whitening from the inside out, my nigga. Like that ain't it right there. You know what I'm saying? Like aloe vera, you know what I'm saying? They use that as a skin bleacher, you know what I'm saying? Because it destroys pigment, you know what I'm saying? So you know, these is not things that we supposed to consume. This is where differences in the body comes in. You know,
Right.
Like you hear a lot of people talking about deuterium depleted water. You know what I'm saying? They listening to white folks coming up with all this shit. You know,
Right.
what I mean?
Right. You can't listen to them.
Right. Well, just their body is different. Sometimes we can, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes we can, but we got to know us so that we could discern between the things that we should take away from their conversations and the things that we shouldn't. Because polar haplotypes evolved on a diet of mostly meats, right? They have completely different sets of enzymes and all kinds of shit is different in their body. One of the things that's different is that meats are not high in deuterium. Deuterium is like it's like trace amounts in meat. So polar haplotypes, they're not able to really metabolize deuterium like that. On the flip side, black folks, you come from the equator. All of the fish back in the days, you know, from the fishing societies, all them motherfuckers was loaded with deuterium. All of the C3 and the C4 plants was loaded with deuterium. So if you come from fish societies or vegetable societies, then your body has, you know, has grown the capability to utilize deuterium. So whereas for Europeans, it's something that, you know, is toxic for their body. Black folks, it's not going to harm your body at all. You know what I'm saying? Like, well, not at all, but you need damn near the amount of deuterium you need to be poisonous as a black person is you need to like damn near consume 10 gallons of the shit in a day. Like it's negligible. You know what I'm saying? Because we evolved on a deuterium based diet. You know what I'm saying? So all these little things plays a key role in how we wind up at such an opposite sliding scale with type 2 diabetes than everybody else. You know what I'm saying? It's a pigment issue. The calories, when you look at cellular respiration is energy from oxidizing food. But whatever happened to, like, for instance, here's one of the things that made me curious, like just having questions in my mind like this, right? We get taught early on that melanin absorbs sunlight, right?
Right.
We also learn in school that energy can't be created or destroyed, right?
Correct.
So when melanin absorbs sunlight, what is the next step for it? Where does it go? See, they never told us that part.
but I thought if melanin absorbs sunlight, is that our vitamin D?
Vitamin D.
Absolutely. Melanin definitely helps to produce vitamin D, but that's not the end of the story because that's only UVB. So what does the melanin do with the UVA light? What does it do with the visible light? What does it do with the infrared it's absorbing? What does it do with the sound spectrum, the lower frequencies that it absorbs? Why is it that black folks so fucking addicted to bass music? Like, where's all that extra? Once melanin absorb it, where does it go? They never tell us that part. You know what I'm saying? So we got to understand that we got a whole nother energy system in our body that exists outside of food. And it's from the conversion of sound and light into actual free electrons. And, you know, depending on the amount of pigment you have, depends on your ability to harness these extra forms of energy. And then, you know, you relay that to NAD. And then the NAD in your cells are able to, you know, relay that to the DNA and RNA, the pentose pathway, your NRF2 system, your sirtuin system, your mitochondria, etc. You know what I'm saying? That's without food.
That's crazy.
All right,
Yeah.
all right, ENQI, drop some books on us. The next time you come on the show, man, I gotta be ready for you.
Shit. My book. Eat right for your haplotype by Dr. ENQI. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the main thing I would suggest for everybody.
I got your pamphlet in my store. I'll be passing them out.
The Soul Craft Scroll. Yeah.
Stack up.
Yeah. Because and that right there will give people a plethora of information. Even in terms of like how long we're supposed to let me look around and find me one. Okay. All right. So for instance, in the end of that book, it talks about the different cycles in terms of your cell reproduction. The reason why I put that in there is because sometimes people might try to change their diet for a week, 2 weeks, and see what happened. Nothing happened. They switch back, or they might go on an herbal cleanse or whatever. A couple weeks, nothing happened. They switch back. Like, you got to understand your cell cycles. You know what I'm saying? You got to do the minimum time that you should try a regimen out. Got to be at least 100 days.
Wow.
Minimum. You know what I'm saying? Because that's how long it take to replace all your blood cells. You know what I'm saying? And all your tissues, organs, bones, everything is made out of cells. So depending on what it is you're trying to do with your diet, you have to target that system, and your regimen got to be at least as long as it takes to replace the cells and the tissues in that area of the body in order for it to be effective. You know what I'm saying? Alzheimer's. You know, a lot of people think that Alzheimer's is a disease for old folks, but Alzheimer's starts in our 20s. It just takes 20 to 40 years of incubation for Alzheimer's to develop symptoms. So you don't get the symptoms for 20 to 40 years, but the disease already started. And now that we're doing lean and these pills and all that, the disease is actually starting in our teenage years.
Even worse. Damn.
Who that? Who that over there?
I don't know what you see.
I see knowledge. Is that knowledge born?
Yeah, he in and out. That's what we do over here. But name some dangerous foods that might be in people's kitchen right now. Just sitting there.
That's good for them, or shit they need to throw out?
Throw out.
Shit, probably everything. They need to just take a garbage bag in that motherfucker and clean house. But no, it depends on what's going on with them. You know, like if it's a saturated fat issue, you know, obviously that's going to be meat and dairy products. You know, if it's a sugar issue, shit, you know, all the rice, the pasta, you know, all them things. But you know, before even the food, like, you know, I would say Black folks need to get rid of the liquor and the cigarettes. You know, cigarettes is a super. We don't understand what cigarettes destroys melanin. If you notice, and this is some shit that made me curious as a kid. You know, just my childhood curiosities is what spurred my research forward. You know, as a kid in the Bronx, I went to Fresh Air Fun every year. My mom was trying to get rid of me. You know what I'm saying? So your ass going to Fresh Air Fun. If you're not from New York, you don't know what Fresh Air Fun is. That's like a free camp for you know, for welfare kids or, you know, underprivileged kids. So when you real young, you go and you stay with like a family. in like upstate New York or something like that. And then when you get to like, I think maybe 13 or something like that, then you're able to go to like the real camp where you in the cabin in the woods type shit. And it fucked me up, like being around white folks, because I noticed that they all smoke like plain cigarettes.
Yeah.
And black folks is always the menthol, the nicotine, you know, like it's a different type of shit. That always fucked with me. And I learned later on in my research that nicotine has an affinity for melanin. Hold on, guys. Nicotine has an affinity for melanin because this energy pathway that I discovered is called the ENQI cycle. It is an energy pathway from water to melanin to NAD. NAD has a relationship. It's like a second or third cousin to nicotine. So when your body has low levels of NAD and you smoke cigarettes, the NAD is going to attach itself to the melanin. You know what I'm saying? I mean, the nicotine is going to attach itself to the melanin. And so that right there is what creates the extra addiction for Black folks to these menthol-based cigarettes and some of the crazy shit that's up in there, you know. And that slowly but surely, the way those things create cancer is because it shuts down your melanin system. You know, you have even people that don't smoke that get lung cancer, and they don't realize it's still because we're getting nicotine and some of this crazy shit in from other places. Nicotine is in beer. Nicotine is in certain breakfast cereals. You know what I'm saying? Like, we just don't realize where all these chemicals be hiding. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, it's just so much different shit. You know what I'm saying? That we got to really buckle down on. And the way that liquor plays the relationship is because liquor stops your stomach from being able to digest tryptophan. Tryptophan is what turns into NAD. So you drink liquor, that makes your NAD go down. Then you smoke cigarettes, that makes the nicotine replace the NAD with the melanin and, you know, fuck you up. You know what I'm saying? Like that's where that come in at. Nicotine also contributes to diabetes. A lot of people don't know, because nicotine raises your white blood cell count, raises your insulin level, and raises your glucose levels all by itself. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, before we even get to the food in the kitchen, you know what I'm saying? Niggas gotta check themselves with cigarettes. Like, you got a lot of niggas call themselves gods. You know, I'm God body. You know what I'm saying? This is that. Niggas got these high exalted titles, and you can't beat cigarettes, nigga. You're not a god if you're addicted to cigarettes, bro. You might be a god in potential, my nigga, but you're not actually, you know, you're not demonstrating your godhood. If cigarettes got you, cigarettes is God for you, nigga. You can't beat cigarettes, you're in trouble. You know what I'm saying? Like, so we got to work on that. You know what I'm saying? And even that I learned as a teenager from, you know, like a the most non-holistic space possible. One of the older homies from the neighborhood, he went to jail. This was a super monster. You know what I'm saying? This nigga's a super monster. You know what I'm saying? He's one of the guys. Like, sometimes we come from places and we know people, we can't even say their names out loud because there's so much shit attached to these niggas that, you know, but, you know, so he went to jail with like a 3-year sentence. He wound up staying in there for 11 years. That's how much extra charges. But one of the things that he taught us, you know, well, anybody that chose to learn, like, he would send letters back to the neighborhood. And, you know, the first thing you ask a nigga that's in jail is like, are you all right in there? You know what I'm saying? And he was like, nah, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? Because the main thing that causes you problems in prison is your addictions to the outside world. So if you can control your addictions in prison, you know, that's like 90% of all the problems that you're gonna have in terms of missing the outside world, not being able to mind your business, mixing up with other inmates, getting into beef, getting stabbed, getting jumped, getting raped, getting, you know, all them things start with your addictions to other shit. So if you start accepting free snacks from niggas or free food from niggas, that puts you in a space. You know, if you start getting high or doing sick, you know, all these different things you can open yourself up to, you know, it got to do with controlling your addiction. So when he sent that letter home, you know, that shit kind of hit me, you know, hard. So I immediately, because he sent a piece of homework home with it too. He was like, yo, you know, if y'all want to see what I'm saying, everybody try to stop jerking off for a month. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, I took that shit serious. You know what I'm saying? I was like, damn, this shit kind of difficult. You know what I'm saying? So, but that was an experiment that, you know, you learn like, yo, this shit really is about mind control. And when we say mind control, a lot of times it's a nefarious connotation to it. We think about somebody else doing something to us, as opposed to us being able to just control our own fucking mind. You know what I'm saying? And that's one of the things that sugar does, because it overstimulates the reward pathway in the brain. So it makes every single addiction more pronounced. It makes every activity more addictive. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like I said, it's just a plethora of ways that sugar fucks with us. You know what I'm saying? And really mastering the body and mastering the mind, it's got to be the first thing that we do. It's like, we get that down pack, everything else will be easy. You know what I'm saying? And you start out by just, you know, creating small little goals for yourself, small little habits that you're going to say you're going to keep for yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, I'm not going to start working out. Like, the way I train people is different. You know what I'm saying? Like, always have been, even when I was a personal trainer in the gym. I'll start out my relationship with, of course, I'm charging you per session, but I start out my relationship with, yo, if you need me as a trainer longer than 60 days, you either a bad student or I'm a bad teacher. You shouldn't need me after 2 months. You know what I'm saying? Any personal trainer that's trying to be like your personal trainer forever, nigga, the only way for him to be able to do that is by, you know, like piecemealing you the information so you stay dependent on him. If a nigga teach you thoroughly, you should be on autopilot, not only in terms of how to keep working, but how to keep finding the new ways to innovate your workout as you go on by yourself. You shouldn't need me for that. Same thing with your diet. You know what I'm saying? Once you get a good grounding of your body, then the diet will start making sense without you studying the food. So a lot of times niggas want to study herbs first. That's not the way to go. The first thing you need to do is learn your body so the herbs make sense. Otherwise, you're going to think that every herb that's good for one person is good for everybody. That's not how it go. You know what I'm saying? Or some herbs is good for you to have once in a while, but not every day. You know what I'm saying? Some herbs is good for everyday use. Some herbs is only good in emergency fucking situations. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't want to take this all the time. You know what I'm saying? Like, but that comes from the first understanding of the body first. You know what I'm saying? And then you extend it out to herbs and food and seasoning and shit like that. You know, but yeah, so I would say like just peripheral basic shit, like making sure we get high fiber bread, as opposed to the goofy shit. I would say, you know, get rid of the cigarettes ASAP. Yeah, try to strengthen yourself by going without cigarettes and going without liquor. You know what I'm saying? Like cigarettes, liquor, and meat. You know, let those be the first three things that you try to tackle. And in terms of vegetables and fruits, if you're trying to transition your diet, you know, I know niggas is used to getting food lists and all that shit, but fuck them food lists. That shit is stupid, man. I would say just when you first starting, focus on the shit you like, because that's what's gonna make you keep the habit longer. You know what I'm saying? Like if you eating a bunch of weird fruits and vegetables you never heard of, the shit ain't in your local supermarket. Like you ain't gonna be able to do that shit for a long time. You know what I'm saying? Like just fuck with the shit you like. If you like corn and sweet peas, goddamn it, fuck it. You corn and sweet peas up right now because that's better than French fries or mashed potatoes. You know what I'm saying? Now, after a while, we're gonna get to a space where you go, okay, yeah, the corn and the sweet peas, like we need to get rid of that fucking corn. You know what I'm saying? The sweet peas might need to go too. We might need to replace that with some lentils and some chickpeas. You know what I'm saying? But it's just levels, and if you do it gradually, it stick with you longer, and that is what really becomes important with your body is the things that you can do for long periods of time, as opposed to shit that you just dance around with for 5 minutes. You know what I'm saying? Like niggas drink mad beer, like niggas drink beers every day, and then they get one fucking, green juice a month, and niggas is, they like trying to babysit the green juice for everybody could see they got one and shit. Like, yo, I had me a green, I went down the spot this morning, I had me a green juice, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I went down and got me a green juice. So yeah, I'm on that green juice. Like, nigga, we heard you. You know what I'm saying? You ain't drinking green juice every fucking day. That shit ain't doing nothing for you, nigga. You might as well have saved that $5, nigga, and bought you some, some other shit with that, because you're not really getting a lot of benefit from shit you do once in a fucking while. You know what I'm saying? It's the shit you do consistently that is going to make all the difference. So I would say small changes you could stay consistent with, at least 90 days. And then switch to some next shit. You know what I'm saying? Because in reality, when we try to make any changes, we always going to slip. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm the GOAT with this shit now, and I slip all the fucking time. You know what I'm saying? Nigga, I'll be slipping and sliding around this motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? But you just make sure that every time you slip, you have a higher ceiling than the last time. You know what I'm saying? So for me, I'm going to slip, but I'm not going to slip into an actual piece of chicken. You know what I'm saying? I might slip into a motherfucker, I might have one of them, a Boca burger somewhere. You know what I'm saying? Or, I might have to get me a veggie burger from Denny's or Burger King. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a slip, because that shit's still terrible. That shit's still, if you're getting a veggie burger from Burger King, nigga, that shit's still loaded with chemicals and all kind of crazy shit.
All type of shit.
Right. Even though it's a veggie burger, you know what I'm saying? So that shit is not high quality. It's loaded with MSG. You know what I'm saying? If you go to the Chinese restaurant and you getting like veggie lo mein, nigga, that shit's still loaded with all kind of fuckery. You know what I'm saying? But you need to do that sometime to, just to keep your shit, because if you don't have those type of cheat days, you're not going to be able to sustain your shit. You know what I'm saying? So niggas be trying to front like they eating raw vegetables 24/7. Like, bro, knock it off, man. Stop it, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not doing that. And that's not even healthy for you. You know what I'm saying? You need to have a balance between cooked and raw anyway. So I don't even believe in them raw diets. That shit foolishness. Because some things need to be cooked in order to get the nutrition from it. Like, most of your greens need heat. You know what I'm saying? Your greens need heat for your body to be able to thoroughly break it down. Your cabbage, that type of shit like that needs heat. You know what I'm saying? Sea moss needs heat. You got a lot of goofy niggas telling niggas to make sea moss in the blender. No, sir. You didn't learn that from nobody. You learned that from con men that was trying to trick you into getting more sea moss from them. Because the original 2 ways that we learned about sea moss all over the fucking world came from Dr. Sebi on one lane and the rosters and the dreads in the other lane. And both Dr. Sebi and the rosters and the dreads was cooking fucking sea moss. You know what I'm saying? So not until you get to the sea moss hustlers that don't know what the fuck they doing, do you get niggas telling you to make it in the blender raw. And the reason why is because you run out of sea moss way faster when you put it in the blender. Because when you cook sea moss absorbs water and expands. So you could buy sea moss one time from a nigga. You shouldn't have to buy sea moss from a nigga multiple times a month. You know what I'm saying? Like if you cooking it yourself, you know, so sea moss is one of those things, like it's good for people with large families and small budgets. You know what I'm saying? Because you can have so much of it, you know. But just you know, it's a lot of things like that that plays a key role. And you know, and then you get smart niggas, you know, they be like, well, yo, I heard if you cook the sea moss, you lose the nutrients because when you boil things, the nutrients comes out in the water. I'm like, my guy, do you realize that you're turning the water into the gel? So yes, the nutrients comes out in the water, but because you're eating the gel, you're consuming the water. So, you know, it just niggas know what the fuck they doing. And then, you know, just making this shit easy for everybody. You know what I'm saying? The easier you make it for people, the more consistent people could be with their transition. You know, and that's the key. But then also exercising, you know what I'm saying? And with the exercising, starting off with an easy exercise regimen. Like just try to exercise 5 minutes a day. You know, you need to exercise every fucking day though. That shit that these goofy ass white folks is telling you, work out 15 minutes 3 times a week. That shit that's not realistic. And that's not going. Why would we work out 15 minutes 3 times a week when we eating 3 and 5 times a day? Typically, you need to exercise just as many times as you eat. You know what I'm saying? But I know you can't start a motherfucker off that's not used to exercising and tell them you need to work out 3 times a day. I'm like, nigga, how the fuck I'm gonna do that? I'm gonna go to the gym, come back. Oh, first of all, who told you got to go to the gym? You know what I'm saying? Like the gym is not even a healthy place to be. You know what I'm saying? The air quality is horrible, and so is the light quality horrible. So that's not even the best place to work out. You know what I'm saying? You only should work out in a gym when you can't work out outside. You know what I'm saying? Or you can't work out in your house. You know what I'm saying? That's the only time you should be in the gym. Black folks should never be in the fucking gym in the spring or the summertime. That's just disgusting. And if you are in a southern state, you should never work out in the fucking gym because it's hot all year round. So your ass should be outside all year round. You should never be in a fucking gym unless you're going in there for like some sauna shit or the swimming pool or some other shit that's not available to you outside. But, you know, we should always be outside in a natural setting during our workout, you know, and, you know, that has its own benefits, you know what I'm saying, in terms of lengthening telomeres and all kinds of other shit to get into.
Dope. Yo, break down the Black Holocaust.
Man.
Little tidbit.
Yeah, let me hit the share screen one time for the one time. Let me find this shit over here. Cause you can't really, you gotta show niggas shit for that. They need to see shit for that. Black Holocaust. He said, let's see it. The Black Holocaust kind of still going on though.
It's your version.
Hey, listen, the extermination never stops.
Man, they still working right now. Like they working. All right, let me find some of these pics.
Hey, ENQI, I object to this share screen. You know why I object, right?
Why?
You know why I object, man.
I don't know why. You gotta say it.
You gotta take your face off of there.
Yo, I have to listen, man. It's so crazy with niggas stealing my shit, flipping and bouncing it without my name. I have to make it difficult on niggas. I'm like, yeah, let me see y'all niggas copy these slides now.
Right, with that big ass watermark.
Man. That shit is a portrait. Hold on, let me find some of these pics so motherfuckers can see like what the Germans was doing in Africa before they started the Jewish Holocaust. Like this shit is crazy. They need to see this shit. And then be able to look up these articles, you know what I'm saying? So that way you could go in and get the further information for yourself, because, you know, people don't realize what was going on. You know what I'm saying? Like, this right here this is a head right here, you know? So they did a lot of their study on transplants in Africa before they, like a lot of the shit that we see now, you got to ask yourself, where did a person learn to do this? Right? Because you can't just try it out and be good at it the first time. So how did the science of transplanting, like how did you develop that? What did you experiment on to learn how to do human transplants? Like, how did you do that? What humans agreed to say, hey, you know what, go ahead. You can figure this shit out on me. Because you got to have living motherfuckers to do transplants on to see how this shit gonna work out. You know, shit, when we look at even sex changes, where did they learn the science of sex changes before they made it a commercial thing? Like before, because now you can pay for a sex change. But in order to be able to offer that as a product or service that you can pay for, they had to learn and master how to do it somewhere first. You know what I'm saying? So who was they experimenting on? Who hormones did they experiment on? Who were they able to change from men into women, women into men, before they made it a commercial practice? You know what I'm saying? And so a lot of those things came from Germans experimenting in Africa, you know, top to bottom, you know. Steroids came from the follicles of Africans, you know, because even our follicles are way different. You know, we have more follicles on our body per square inch of skin. And what's in our follicles is different. You know what I'm saying? So it's way different. Even getting a fucking haircut different, right? When we watch these fucking commercials and shit, and we see the big shavers and by men and all that shit, when you try to use that on your face, you get mad bumps. The reason why you get the bumps is because you have more follicles than a white person on your face. So that means that the hair follicles are a lot closer together. Because they have less, they more spread out. So the chances of a hair being bent back from one follicle into the next is almost none for European guys shaving his face. Whereas all your follicles are so squinched together, anytime you use that fucking razor, you're going to get hair bumps. You know what I'm saying? Like, because that's not for you. You know what I'm saying? You're not supposed to use that. You're supposed to use something else. You got to find another strategy for your shit. You know what I'm saying? And that's how life is for us. We got to go through all of the mistakes in order to start figuring out the right shit, because we don't spend time studying ourselves and just laying it out for the next man to be able to figure this shit out. Like, yo, don't use them shavers on your face, my nigga. Those are not for black folks. You need to figure something else out, bro. You know, pushing our lineup back, you know, with the clippers. Like, a lot of barbers be mad when I say that shit is not natural. It's not, you know, black folk. No people supposed to do that. You know what I'm saying? But only black folks do that. You know what I'm saying? And your body is constantly in a state of efficiency and learning. So when you push your shit back after a while, your shit be like, oh, so we shouldn't grow hair here? Cool. I will just stop growing hair here because that's a waste of energy. You know what I'm saying? So we're telling our body something when we do that. You know what I'm saying? We just don't understand how our body's going to listen. But because we're accustomed that that's handsome and the women is accustomed that that's attractive, that's customary grooming process for us. You know what I'm saying? So you know, my sons, I don't let them get lineups, period. You niggas want to fuck your shit up, you gotta do that when you get grown. That's some shit you gotta do on your own, pimp. And you get no haircut from daddy or from a barbershop that I'm paying for with a lineup. You Gucci. Learn how to be a handsome fly nigga without a lineup. You know what I'm saying? Like, get a good, you're gonna get a nice fade. You can get lines in your shit. I'm with all the fuckery. You know what I'm saying? But you can get your shit colored. I'm with everything, but no lineups. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Because that's some shit that once you do that for 10, 20 years, you can't fix it later. There's no fix for that. You know what I'm saying? And it creates problems with the circulation in your scalp because you got a microbiome, you know, that populates your skin. And when you cut when you do them edge ups, you allow certain bacteria and shit to start to populate in your scalp that would never have got entryway into your scalp without you cutting them upper layers of the dermis off. So, you know, it's just a bunch of shit we got to learn of how to care, treat, groom, eat. We got to learn the whole shit over for how we need to do us. You know what I'm saying? And let other people do them. You know what I'm saying? Like, it don't take away from white folks that they do their shit different, because they are different, you know, and it shouldn't be a thing like, you know what I'm saying, where, you know, these are uncomfortable conversations to have in the presence of white folks because they might look at us funny. You know what I'm saying? Like, look at us funny if you want, nigga. We black. Shit. We are funny to you. You know what I'm saying? Just like you are funny to us. That's cool. Y'all different. We different. You know what I'm saying? Like, we gotta tap into that. You know what I'm saying? Because our strength lies in our differences too. And only we are gonna highlight our strengths. Everybody else are gonna monetize our weaknesses. You know what I'm saying? So we gotta understand that shit. You know what I'm saying? We spent 300 years in the sugarcane field during slavery. That gave Europeans a 300-year head start on studying the effects of sugar on our bodies. You know what I'm saying? And we still dealing with that shit with type 2 diabetes. That's why I say that shit never stopped. You know what I'm saying? Because we came right out the sugar field, but we got diabetes still. You know what I'm saying? And diabetes was killing niggas in the sugarcane field. You know what I'm saying? And we left the slavery. Diabetes was tearing niggas up during slavery. You know what I'm saying? That's why you got so much slaves with, you know, they missing feet and arms. We thinking that's coming from like white folks cutting it off and torturing them. No, that's coming from them getting gangrene and all that shit from the diabetes. But back then they didn't know it was diabetes. You know what I'm saying? They didn't have a thing to call it. You know what I'm saying? They named it diabetes later on. So, you know, and even if you look at the chart of diabetes rates going up through the roof start with right there. The chart right there. You can look right here in this window. This is when the diabetes chart starts to go up in America. And what happens in the 1860s that corresponds with the diabetes chart going up? 1860s, that's when they quote unquote freed the black folks. So as soon as niggas left the plantation, they took the plantation with them. And the part of the plantation that they took with them is sugar. Sugar. Wow. Yeah, sugar is what they left the plantation with, that destroys the mind, destroys the body, and destroys your lifespan. That's the one thing that hits everything. Your mental capability, your physical brain, it destroys, and your actual mental capability, two separate things. Then it tears up the rest of the body. You know, they learned that quick. Black folks had a 5 to 9 year lifespan from the first day they stepped foot in the sugar field. So they knew something about that sugar in black folks is oil and water. That shit tear their ass up. So you put a black man on the equator, you know, you put him out there in the Sahara or something, you know, that nigga look like God, you know, damn near invincible. You put that same strong, big ass nigga in the sugarcane field, and it's over. It's over. He can't even survive 5 to 9 years on average. You know what I'm saying? So, and it's funny because you know that if you average 5 and 9, that the number is 7. And, you know, that number has a special affinity for some people. If you look at how much sugar Domino's produces, they produce 120 bags of sugar a minute. So it's just certain numbers that'll stand out to you if you have a certain understanding too, like 120 bags of sugar a minute. Niggas had an average of a 7-year lifespan in the sugar field. You'd be like, certain shit, you just know, like, this is not an accident, this is genocide. And, you know, the thing that we need to do to get over this hump is we have to learn this information. Once we learn the information, we learn the body, everything else will make sense. You know what I'm saying? Everything else will start making sense. We'll learn why we have to have a variety of pigment in our diet. We need to eat green fruits and veggies. We need to eat yellow fruits and veggies, orange, red, purple, you know, all of them, because they all have different functions in our body. When you hear phenols, polyphenols, those are the antioxidants in fruits and vegetables. Those are pigments. They talking about pigments, you know what I'm saying? But they just don't like to use the word pigment because they know that it's an empowering thing for Black folks. You know, when you hear about the mitochondria, even if you forget about mitochondria being regulated by melanin, which is a pigment, inside the mitochondria, the electron transport chain is pigment based. You got, those are called cytochrome, cytochrome 1, cytochrome 2, cytochrome 3, cytochrome 4. A cytochrome, cyto means cellular, chrome means pigment. Cytochrome, cellular pigments, is what produces ATP. When you think about your DNA or your genes is called what? Chromosomes, right? So chromosomes is the color that creates the body. That's what the etymology of chromosomes is. Like, people could just type in and they can Google etymology of chromosomes and you'd be like, God damn, this pigment shit everywhere. Like, what the fuck is going on? How come this, we don't know, you know, like, because it's not financially feasible for these people to to disclose that part of the science. This is something that we got to do on our own. So, you know, that's just where we got to take it. But, you know, we got to do like a part 2, a part 3, a part 7 of this shit. Like, we got to go in piece by piece by piece on this shit. You know what I'm saying? Because it's so much that we ain't even go into the article really. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of shit to it. You know what I'm saying? It's just small nuances of figuring it out. You know what I'm saying? Like learning about melanin concentrating hormone, you know, learning about melanin stimulating hormone, you know, learning about how those things regulate the body, getting deeper into understanding iodine and what iodine does, you know, how iodine affects, you know, various parts of the body, you know, and just all kinds of slick little nuances that we're not going to get from nobody else. We got to get it from us. So please take that article and put it in the description of the video so that way people could click on it. And then anybody that has a blog or on your social media, feel free to copy and paste the whole article to your social media page, to your blog site, your online magazine. Like, don't try to get in touch with me to ask me if you could do it. Just fucking do it. Copy and paste that whole shit. Zoop. And put this shit out there. We got to get this info out there. You know what I'm saying? Because the article is one article, but it probably took me 25 years of studying to get that information. So it'll probably take a nigga just as long to unpack all the information that's in there. You know what I'm saying? If I start asking people certain shit, I know niggas will be like, what the fuck is ENQI talking about? I'm like, yo, what is a line 1 retro transposon? Niggas will be like, what? I'm like, yeah, see, we got to have some other conversations. You know what I'm saying? Because
I'm gonna put part 1. I'm gonna put part 1 on this.
Yeah. We definitely. It's the intro. You know what I'm saying? It's the warm up. It's the layup line. You know what I'm saying? We got to come up with a basketball analogy since we spent like 20, 30 minutes on LeBron and MJ. You know what I'm saying? So we got to put a basketball analogy on this shit. This the layup line. You know what I'm saying? Like we just getting warmed up. We shooting around. It's the shoot around session.
Hey! Somebody got mad because somebody dropped it in the cup. Where somebody inboxed me on Facebook Messenger. Say, what are we talking about basketball for?
Yeah, they like.
But sometimes people got to realize, number one, even though we go into information and we going into, into certain topics dealing with us, dealing with melanated people, it's about melanin. But also too, though, man, we all human, though. You know what I'm saying? You got to mix it, man. You got to mix it.
Talk that shit.
I ain't trying to hear all that, though, man.
Listen, but I gotta let them know that
I be arguing with these niggas all the time about this shit. The fake over smart niggas, bro. Stop it. These niggas be acting like they too smart to watch a fucking movie. They too smart to watch a goddamn sport. You ask niggas about basketball, I don't watch basketball because, you know, that's not conscious. You know, you're fucking up. I'm like, bro, stop. You niggas is goofy, bro. Oh man, look at this. Look at we done caught ENQI on the internet. Look, ENQI out there celebrating Christmas with his children. Yeah, nigga, because it's Christmas time. What the fuck is wrong with you niggas? Kids supposed to have, I do every holiday, because what I learned is that when you deprive children, see, we adults, we've had time to study and assimilate, so we understand if we take a sacrifice, what that means. But when you do all the studying and then you just enact shit on the children, they don't fully understand it. So what they're going to do is find another way to do those things later on. And that's how you get a child that maybe they got decent parents, but they still out in the street hustling anyway. Why? You ask yourself, why is these children that got good parents at home out in the street hustling? Because the good parents ain't at home is not allowing them to do certain things that they should have got at home. So every year we pick a different holiday. We might do Christmas this year. Next year we might do Kwanzaa. Next year we might do Hanukkah. The next one after that we do, you know, and I use them all as teaching points. So we're going to talk about fake Santa Claus. We're going to talk about the Satan Claus. Like, we're going to get all the way in. You know what I'm saying? Thanksgiving come around, we're going to cook, we're going to eat, and we're going to talk about goofy ass Christopher Columbus and slavery and sugar addiction and cocaine and all we're going to go all the way in. But what we're not going to do is pretend like the day doesn't exist, because, you know, we out of the matrix. Our friends and family still in the matrix. So those are the only days that we can get together, because other time niggas got school, niggas got work. So you got to use them holidays as ways to teaching opportunities, because, you know, a lot of times niggas in the matrix, they're not even interested in certain topics unless you catch a nigga when it's hot. You know what I'm saying? So Halloween is the perfect time to talk about certain types of rituals and other shit that's, you know what I'm saying? But if you make yourself holier than thou, you can't really reach a nigga, because teaching, a large part of teaching is about connection. And if you can't connect with the people, you can't teach the people. You know what I'm saying? You always got to meet somebody where they at. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, niggas be getting too fucking intelligent to be alive. Like, nigga, what are you? You're too smart to breathe. Niggas be like, oh, I'm gonna be a breatharian. Bruh, you not gonna be a fucking breatharian. Now you think you too smart to eat actual food, my nigga? Stop it. The human body does not produce aromatic amino acids. So before you get so smart, you think you're just going to absorb fucking sunlight for energy, my guy. Remember that you have to maintain those pigments. And in order to maintain those pigments, you're going to need a steady flow of tyrosine and tryptophan to constantly replenish the pigments in your body so that you can absorb sunlight. So that means you can never go without eating plants, or you are going to slowly but surely tear up your pigments, and you won't have any fresh amino acids to replace them. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, just shit, niggas be getting too fucking goofy. Niggas be getting so smart, we just be goofy sometimes. Like, yeah, I'm not watching basketball. Fuck out of here, nigga. I'm about to watch this game. and I'm going so, and then then it be the same niggas talking about they so smart, they not watching the game. They got big ass libraries in their house and they haven't read none of them fucking books.
None of them.
It's just disgusting. You go over there, nigga proud of his books. Oh yeah, look, I got this book. I got Chancellor Williams. I got this nigga. I got that nigga. And then you start asking them, did you read this book? Oh, now I was getting ready to get started with that one. You know, coming up this week, I'm gonna get started with that one because I was at my job and I had, you know, I want to get some time with my job and because my kids with my girlfriend, you know how, you know, but I'm gonna get started with that. Stop it, bro. Don't flash no, it's like pulling a gun that you ain't ready to use. Don't flash me no motherfucking whole big ass library of books that you ain't read. You know what I'm saying? I tell people all the time, stop fucking buying new books until you read all your old books, you know, and then you need to read them again and again. Anytime you read a book, you know, a book is based on, because our ability to see is based on what we know in our mind. So when you read a book, if you read that same book 12 months later, 9 months later, you're going to find a whole bunch of different jewels in that same book, because you have learned so much more within that 9, 10, 12 months that when you go back, it's a lot of shit that you couldn't see the first time because you just wasn't at that level yet. So you go back and you're like, oh shit, there's a whole much more shit. So even when, you know, you be having goofy niggas online trying to diss Dr. Sebi, I'm like, it's just because they haven't studied enough. They just don't know. They just don't know enough. You know what I'm saying? They're like, oh, well, Dr. Sebi said mucus is what stops the insulin from working in your body. And we know that mucus is produced by the mucous membrane, and it's actually a healthy thing for your body. And there's no such thing as mucus. Bruh, just chill. Pump your brakes, man. Respect the OGs. Go back and do some more studying. You do some more studying, you'll find out that it's a form of fat called intramyocellular lipid that, you know, for our euphemistic definition of mucus, it fits the bill. It fills up the cell, it comes from saturated fat, and it blocks insulin. So, you know, you might not eat a lot of sweets and sugars, but you might eat a lot of animal products that might lead you to insulin sensitivity or becoming insulin resistant. Like, you know, like, you know, but niggas so quick to shoot a shot at the OG, you didn't take time to study and figure out maybe there was something to it. You know, he just might be using, you know, the language of old fucking niggas from, you know, Dr. Sebi was an old nigga when we first heard him. So, you know, it's different language, different lingo. You understand what I'm saying? Like, you trying to hold a nigga that's 80 years old to speak in your tongue. You know what I'm saying? That ain't how it go. You know what I'm saying? We gotta understand that there's, you know, language gaps, learning gaps and shit like that, and put a little time in studying and, you know, figure this shit out. But yeah, you know, so we're gonna have to do, you know, if niggas can't enjoy us discussing what we enjoy, then they don't really, you know, they don't really love us. They think we slaves. You know what I'm saying? We got to have work time, but we got to have downtime also, you know, so we don't bust a fucking have a stroke out this bitch somewhere. We working 24 hours a day. You know, that's not realistic. And how do these people have children? These niggas that's too smart to watch a game. Like, what are you doing with your children? Because if you're too smart to watch a game, you clearly too smart to watch a cartoon. So obviously you must not spend any time with your children. You can't be a good parent. Like, it just goes so far down the rabbit hole. You just got to say either you niggas is fronting, trying to pretend, maybe your online persona is too smart to watch a game, but your offline persona is probably up to fucking date on the fucking, on all the trade, on the trading, who just got drafted, who, you know what I'm saying? Like, niggas be frauding. You know what I'm saying? Niggas be frauding. So that's what that should really be. These niggas don't be eating all raw vegetables. They don't be avoiding basketball games and movies. You know, niggas be fraud. Niggas pull up to the lecture playing Rick Ross and get out. Then all of a sudden they burning sage around. Like, nigga, if you don't knock it the fuck off, stop it. You know what I'm saying? And that's what we supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? Our ancestors didn't say we were supposed to be fucking monks and live in a fucking cave. They said we were supposed to practice ma'at, which is balance. Balance is in between the acid and the alkaline. It's not being alkaline. Balance is between acid and alkaline. Your blood want to be 7.365. That's not alkaline. That's not acid. That's right in between. You know what I'm saying? And that's what we're supposed to, you know, take that as a way to guide our lives. You know what I'm saying? It's about balance. It ain't about just overdoing shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because
I do want to say this.
Just as we can become acidic, we can have alkalosis. Motherfuckers don't think about alkalosis. Alkalosis is when you got too much alkaline.
Yeah.
So it's balance. But go ahead, God. I ain't mean to cut your wisdom.
No, you good, man. I was just gonna say, and we wasn't really even talking about nothing up to date. We were speaking about the game and old stats, and then you still came in and dropped Melanin Jewels. Like, man, how's this man doing? It's because of his melanin.
Well, listen. So we might need to examine Russell Westbrook melanin, because boy, that nigga looked like the Monstars. Did you see the Jordan? What was that shit? Jordan? What was that? The Monstars? The first, not the LeBron one. The first one that Jordan was in. Westbrook looked like them niggas when they took their basketball powers away from them. Yo, that shit look crazy. Like niggas got a $1 Westbrook somewhere. Like that nigga look insane on the basketball court right now. That nigga be standing right under the rim shooting air balls. I'm like, bruh.
All jokes
What?
aside,
No,
all jokes aside, y'all know the white man got all the greatest athletes' blood. You
Oh,
know
that's a
who's better
certified.
than the blood.
Well, wait, we could take it a step further. You know who has the largest database on blood in America? It's the goddamn, what's these people?
Said monsters.
It's a religious group, and they super racist. They got racism built into their religion. Damn, what's these niggas called? They be coming to your door with the books and shit. Not the Jehovah's Witness. No. It's
the
another.
Mormons.
The Mormons.
The
The Mormons. They got the biggest blood and DNA database on people in America, and them niggas listen. That money talk, man. Listen, racism is built into their religion. The Mormon religion teaches that the reason black people are black is not because of pigment, not because of melanin. It's because God has cursed and damned them for life to walk with charred, burnt skin, and all this kind of crazy shit. You know what I'm saying?
You know any of them?
I've interacted with. I don't know them. I don't know none now. Like, you know what I'm saying?
You have one on that want to get on the show, let us know, man.
Oh, he said we'll give them a nice down home welcome.
What's up, man? Rebel with a cause 007 in Gmail, man.
Hey, but they whole teaching came from Egypt, though.
Of course.
That's the crazy thing. If you look up the guy, I forgot his name is Joseph. The founder of the Mormon faith is Joseph something, and he actually to come up with their pamphlet, he plagiarized one of the Egyptian papyri, and then he got exposed later on. But they was already a multi-billion-dollar business by that time. So it didn't matter if he got exposed.
Crazy. They said, yo, he looked in a hat and got the jewels.
Facts.
When they caught him, he had to do it again. So he went back in the hat and he had to recite it all over.
Yeah.
Listen, we've been robbed by everybody. We can make everybody say that.
Yeah. And the crazy thing is we so powerful that even with all the rock, like we don't need to recoup nothing. We don't need to recoup nothing. We don't need a handout. All we need to do is just get busy amongst ourselves, and we can still get where we need to be. You know what I'm saying? Because once you understand people just don't understand what we sitting on. Our genetics, like we got this shit on lockdown. We control this shit. The reason why everybody follows what we do is not like they don't have a choice. See, everything on this planet is light-based. So the stronger your ability to absorb, interpret, and re-radiate light means that those that have a lesser ability to do that have to live vicariously through you. So anything that we do, the rest of the world got to follow. And understanding that, you had groups of people that wanted to be in power, so they manipulate our thinking so that way we're bringing into existence the world that they want to live in instead of the world that we want to live in. Soon as we understand that paradigm, this shit is over overnight.
Right.
This is our universe. We think this shit into existence. So if we constantly program our minds that niggas ain't shit and bitches ain't shit and life is cheap, we have a high murder rate. We consume the goofball foods. Once we understand how valuable our body is, immediately we'll stop putting cheap shit in it. You see what I'm saying? Because we already understand the value of not putting cheap shit on it. You know what I'm saying? Niggas take pride in getting their gear together and all that. We just got to take that same type of pride that we put in our closet into our kitchen, and take that same type of pride of what we put in our closet into our library. And then it's over. You know what I'm saying? Then it's game time. You know what I'm saying? So Yeah.
What's up? The layup line. Yo, give us your information.
Just Dr. ENQI everywhere. I'm on IG, I'm in Clubhouse, I'm on YouTube, you know what I'm saying? If they look at the article, my number's at the bottom of the article, you know what I'm saying? So they could read the article and my number's on it, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I only have one phone, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not a fake number or a double number or an app number or some weirdo shit, you know, that's it. So, you know, niggas could just shoot me a text, old school, you know what I'm saying?
Anybody else got any questions?
No questions for me.
Last words. ENQI, you want to talk to the family?
Yeah, read.
Like
the Hebrew Israelites say, read.
Read. Salute to the felder. But nah, man, ENQI, man, good looking for letting us pick your brain, man.
Definitely, man. I can't wait to come back. You know what I'm saying? This is good. I like the build. I like the round table kind of energy. You know what I'm saying?
All right. Nah, we feel you, man. Thanks for being a teacher, man, staying alive during the chaos.
That mean we resonating. You know what I'm saying? And that's also a byproduct of our body. You know what I'm saying? Because our body are naturally built with a crystal lattice structure to everything. You know what I'm saying? So we resonate like crystals. We oscillate. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, when we get on a certain frequency, you know, we you know, that vibration is, you know, that vibe, the vibe is not just a slang term. That's a reality for us. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, that's what we do.
That's what's up. That's Dr. ENQI, y'all.
Peace to the family.
Yo, another episode of Rebels Roundtable, man. We out of here. Yeah. That was what's up.
Hey.
You gotta cut the live off.
All right, man. We out of here, man. Rebels.com, man. Us.